Good evening to everybody. We'll start the board meeting, the May 13th, 2023 board meeting. We'll start it with a roll call of all present, starting with the first area director.
Area 1, A1NZ, present.
Okay, second. Third. Fourth.
Present K9 GWS.
Fifth is present WA6LBU. Sixth. Seventh. Seventh going once. I can see him. Ron, do you have audio issues? Give me a thumbs up. Okay. Just mute it. Just try unmuting your mic. Okay, we're all in agreement. He is here. We can get a thumbs up from him for votes or thumbs down. Eighth. Ninth.
He posted an email that he would not be making it.
Okay, I wasn't sure if he had an alternate to be here. And 10th.
AA0HF is here.
Okay, and the 11th.
EXP3CMB, we're here.
Okay, VP.
Oh, AA1 and A, yeah.
Okay, and P.
He also knows
President.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I get it.
Looks like we are missing 4.
Third caller.
Okay.
Seventh here.
Okay. Thanks, Ron. I got you. You're loud and clear, Ron. Third
Query.
call area.
Hey, this is
Query?
KE3HAY. Yeah, KE3HAY here. Listen, I'm in the meeting, but I'm not quite in it. I am really sick. So I'm going to be listening, and when I need to be there, I will. But I just wanted to let you know I'm here, but just kind of listening from afar.
Okay, got that.
Thank you.
Sure. Well, it looks like we're down to the listing. Or eighth. Did I call? I'm going through the gallery, seeing if Ralph is here and quiet. Nope. Looks like we're missing 3. Okay, we'll move down to the minutes. Approval of minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
B3CMB.
Okay, and a second.
Appropriate, I
Going
will.
once.
Yeah, if it's appropriate, I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, is there any discussion on the minutes? Okay, let's go for a vote, starting with the first call area.
A1 and Z, approve.
Okay, second, not here. Third, Keon.
HAY, please.
Okay. Fourth.
K9 GWS approved.
Okay, fifth approves. Sixth. And no, seventh.
Abstains.
Okay, and eighth.
Eighth approved. KGW1.
Hey, there he is. Okay, and ninth. Oh, sorry, 10th.
10th approved. AA0HF.
Okay, and DX.
EX area approves V3CMB.
VP.
AA1 and A approved.
Okay, and President.
KL70R approves.
Okay, we have 2 non-present, 1 abstained, and the rest passed. So that's good. Financials, motion to approve.
V3 CMB.
Okay. Thank you, Craig. And second.
Second.
Okay. Okay. And any discussions on financials? Hearing none. Roll call vote. First area.
A1 and Z approved.
Okay. Second. Third.
HAY approves.
Okay. Fourth.
Approved. K9 GWS.
Okay. Fifth. Approves. I was almost expecting somebody else to answer for me. Sixth call area in here. Seventh.
Abstain.
Eighth.
Approved. KG8W1.
Ninth's not here. 10th.
Approved AA0HF.
Okay. And VP.
And DX approves V3 CMB.
Sorry.
Just
I
keep-
moved to Craig and it went behind something else and I forgot about you.
Just keep me honest,
Okay. Got DX approved. What? No, that's okay. Keep me honest. I'm still green at this stuff. Vice President.
AA1 and A approves.
Okay. And Dean.
L70R approved.
Okay. I'm in my board meeting. Sorry. Apologize. My roommate came in to let me know that there's a shooting somewhere in the area. Okay. Did I get president? Where was I?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. That motion or the financials passed. Are there any discussions on the reports, awards committee, bylaws, and so on? Okay, there's no old business. Being new at this with the being with the proposal that Gary sent in, do we discuss now?
Under new business, yep.
Under this, okay, I thought.
Listen, Clay, if you got to go, buddy, to take care of, respond to that, we understand.
No, it's not my problem, but I just do shut the sheriff's department off for a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, Gary, you want to give us some background?
Well, so Johnny KI4WCQ sent it to me and really put it out there for discussion. I think this topic has come up, a number of times over the, recent past, and we've talked about a number of different things. So really just see how people feel about it, and if anybody has any other thoughts about how to sort of solve this problem that Johnny's trying to address.
And Gary, I mean, I've made a comment on it. I'm certainly in support of the of going that way. There's probably a few details we need to iron out. This is not going to I love getting physical QSL cards. This is not going to get rid of that. I think it's a way that our club membership or club people can probably get several more contacts towards some of the awards, more specifically the progressive awards, because these other mechanisms aren't going to have if you're a master, they're not going to have if you're a mobile and that, but still they can be used for progressive awards. So anyway, my thoughts on it was that no, I think it's good.
Okay, any more comments?
I guess the question I would have is if we think that something like this is a good thing to do, what should we do to move this forward? Because I think somebody pointed out, maybe Eric, I guess we discussed this, I don't know, a few months ago, and it kind of died, and sometimes that happens with stuff that we do. So the question is, what are the next steps here? How should we proceed forward?
If there's nobody else.
Yeah, wow. Well, there's quite a pile up there with answers. Yeah. One at a time, guys.
Yeah, no, if there's nobody else, we saw in the emails, Ben has weighed in a little bit. We've got some weigh-ins in support. We got some weigh-ins not support, but I think we need to grab it and just work out a few of the details. Now, we know, we're not going to have /mobile/portable, right? Unless that particular station has already set up another account in QRZ or in LOTW for them operating mobile or portable, but which most of them probably will not have, and I think that's fine. But moving forward, I think we just need to summarize some of the potentials there, right? This is what you will not get. And yes, if there's not the detail on the QSL card, regardless of whether it's a physical QSL card, it's an eQSL card, or it's an LOTW QSL card, or QSL print that we're going to do. If it's not there, then you cannot use it for an award, right? So I think just formalizing some of the rules around is where we need to go next, in my mind.
I have a question. As past president, I can talk at the meeting. Is this going to create an undue burden on the area award managers to have to go out if they get a QSL card to make sure that the contact was actually made on the net? How are you going to validate that you might get a card as Ben put in his, somebody saying that he worked him, but if you don't have all the information on the card, and you don't have it identified, which I guess it really doesn't have to be identified as being a 3905 CenturyNet, but you can look at the frequency and you can look at the time. Does the area award manager then have to go out and validate by checking old nets to make sure the person was on the net they say they were?
Contact.
Just asking.
Go ahead, Keon.
So thanks so much for picking me up. I am one of those people that is 100% for going paperless. And as to answer Dwight's question, I think, in all honesty, there's going to have to be some latitude for people to be honest. And I think the occasional spot check is relatively simple. An email. Hey, by the way, I'm just checking. Can you confirm this particular contact? The person responds back with the information. If it's valid, great. If it's not, you start digging a little bit farther and you start asking questions. I really don't see it being much different than actually having the paper. I think we've had enough instances throughout the Century Club where people have fabricated paper. So it's kind of, again, you're kind of on the honor system a little bit with this. And I think if the spot checks pan out, and again, I agree with whoever said there has to be some type of guideline talked about, discussed, and produced to give us an idea of how we're going to do this and make it successful. But I mean, there's only but so much you can do to keep dishonest people from being dishonest. And I think most people here, 99% of us, are trustworthy. Some spot checks here or there, an email here or there, a question or a query. I think that's the only thing that would really be needed, provided the people get back to you, to make sure that the award system has some type of tact and integrity. Thanks so much, Clay.
Okay, thanks, Keon. Ralph, I heard your voice in there. Ralph, go ahead.
Okay. And actually, I had my hand up a minute ago and realized I had myself muted. But in answer to this, it's no different than a paper card in that respect. Just about any card you get from a newbie, once in a while there'll be one that'll say on the net, and very rarely will they say Century Club net, and mostly you're just happy to get a card confirming the contact. It's always been that way. It's never been an issue. I've never heard of a awards manager rejecting a card because it didn't say 3905 Century Club net on it.
Or what?
Oh, yeah, that happens.
Okay.
Whoops. Likewise, newbie doesn't mention the club at all. That just came in the mail a couple days ago.
Perfectly good in my mind, Clay, as a card.
I would say
No,
so
I
too.
agree. Because, yeah.
Okay.
Fifth call area has such an abusive area director or area awards director.
Okay, and another comment I had, or I wanted to make, I support everything I've seen in Johnny's proposal. And one thing that I'm curious about that I think should be included is a simple email. We have always accepted pieces of paper, any way, shape, or fashion, as long as it had all the pertinent details in the written to verify the contact. Now, why an email shouldn't classify as a written document when it does in any other aspect of club business? If an email is good enough to vote, why shouldn't it be allowed as an email? I mean, as a QSL.
Good point, Ralph. Sorry. That's a good point. I think it should
No,
be.
I was just going to acknowledge find out if he was done. Go ahead, Craig.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. And maybe I need to put up my hand or do contact and then do say done. But no, that's a good point, Ralph. An email from somebody. Now, can things be fabricated? Of course. I can go downstairs, when I'm running a pile of JR's clubs, right? So I make up those cards. Well, I could also make up cards from VE9 whatever, and I can make up cards from KL2 whatever, and so there is some integrity and some honesty. But an email, absolutely, if it's got the information on it, should be a valid QSL card, or should be actually valid QSL card.
Well, my comments weren't directed at illegal cards. My comments were directed at the additional work you're going to put on an area award manager. And once again, I think they're all good contacts. So I agree with you, Craig, but I'm wondering what the additional workload for the awards manager is going to be. Now, Ben just said nothing. So if that's the way it is, that's the way it is. So are we going to have to put something in the bylaws to cover these things? And if so, it needs.
I can weigh in on that a little bit. I would say that we'd have to be firm that an award applicant includes an image of, whether it's EQSL, QRZ, LOTW in the order that it appears on their application. If it's a sketchy card, I think they should include a printout of the net archive showing they were both checked into that net. That's a pretty easy one for an award manager to check, but I agree with you. If it's one or two here and there, sure. But if you end up checking 10, 15, or 20 of them, that ain't a lot of fun. But yeah, I would think the applicant should have to include a proof, whether it's QRZ, LOTW, an email, and if it's an email, send a printout of the net archive showing they were both checked in. I agree. Making it easier on the awards manager is really important because that could get really overwhelming. Not a lot of fun. Thank you.
Okay, first, hang on. First, Gary.
So I don't think. I mean, I just pulled up the QRZ page here that somebody would use, and it's for it was for a net contact I made. I don't think I have a card for him. He also didn't confirm on QRZ, but anyhow, I mean, all the information, they would print this page off, use it like they would use a card, and it has all the information that would be on the card. It has the frequency, it has the date, time, the band.
Oh, yeah.
It has all that information, signal report. It has everything that would be on the card. So I don't think the area awards manager should have to do any more checking just because it's a QRZ page.
I disagree.
Or an EQSL page or whatever.
I disagree.
Who was it that disagreed?
El Presidente.
Oh,
Does
okay.
does the QRZ page show either location?
Yes. So shows.
No, it doesn't. It shows an address. It doesn't show the location.
Well, yeah, but so this is what we were talking about. These cards don't work for mobile and portable. It doesn't work for mobile and portable.
So, can I ask a question? Just before we get carried away. In the last 5 minutes, I've heard we take two different branches to what we're trying to solve. We're taking one that we're trying to find a way that we as members can get more cards from new stations. Am I right? Wrong? And then somebody mentioned the word paperless, and that's a whole different kind of an animal to solve.
Yeah, but Dean, we're not doing paper. We're not. I understand maybe the concept in the future, but this right now is not about the 3905 Century Club going paperless. We all have an opinion, and maybe, who knows, in 50 years when I'm dead, maybe we will be paperless. But that's not what this is about right now.
But email supports going paperless.
Absolutely. Email's great.
So you said we are talking about paperless here.
We're not talking about the strategy of the club, and QSLing and awards is paperless. Okay. Don't go down that road.
Okay.
Yeah, the applicant would still have to print out something to submit with the award application.
Of course.
And whether he mailed it in or emailed it to the awards manager, there's still a paper trail.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hang on. I got like three other people that Dwight recognized. However, I heard Eric. I'm not sure where I heard Eric. Are you? Did you not say anything, Eric?
No, I didn't.
No. Okay. Okay, Ralph. Ralph, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it was Kurt, but anyway, the one was wondering if the awards manager would have to look up the net archives to check on, verify a contact or whatever. Don't forget that it's actually probably easier to just go on the club website, type in the call sign, and it'll give you a breakdown of at least the last 20 or whatever check-ins. So that would probably cover most situations. right there, if there's a station that doesn't check in, 7 times a day for 2 months.
Okay, was there anybody else that I missed? Oh, Dwight, go ahead.
I just had one question for Gary, and it came up when you were saying that the QRZ application had all the information you needed. On the QRZ card, if it's confirmed, do you have that gold star like I get? Does that print out when you print out the information?
Yes, yeah, it's on it's on the same page, Dwight.
Okay.
But what purpose does that gold star do to us?
It just
Nothing.
the gold star means that the person acknowledged it.
Well, what it means is there's a matching log entry for your log entry.
But EQSL doesn't have that star.
No, but that's how you.
Why do we need that? Why do we need that for QRZ and not need that for EQSL?
Because they operate differently.
We do?
Yeah. QRZ doesn't print out QSL cards. I mean, that isn't. They match logs. So the way you know you've got a match is that gold star. It can. What's actually a blue star with a gold circle around.
Okay.
Dean,
Go ahead, Ralph.
Yeah, Dean, in answer to your question, QRZ entry that you see from another party doesn't show the time of the contact unless it's been confirmed. So in other words, if somebody has you in your log on that date, the awards manager wouldn't even be able to know if it was during the time that any of our nets were open. Where that's the main thing that's added into the approved or the confirmed contact that you can print out. That would take care of that. And back to
Okay, so we have two rules. We have one is that in order for this to work, I have to upload my logs to QRZ, right? That's what we're saying. Is that all members need to upload their logs to QRZ, even though we don't do it. That's the only way they're going to get confirmed. How is the contact going to get confirmed if I don't upload my log?
They can still send a paper card.
No. I'm talking about specifically getting that gold star. The only way the gold star happens, as Ralph has said, where the time shows, is if I upload my log and the other station uploads their log. Correct? Is that what we're saying?
Just thinking out loud, I would
And
think
on EQSL, basically cards are submitted to your inbox. And yes, you got an option to hit the little QSL card and print a facsimile that has whatever the information. Two different ways they do business. Whoever mentioned that is absolutely right.
Okay, Dean. Actually think of it this way with EQSL. You can print out the card from EQSL and never send a card yourself. Whereas on
That's correct.
QRZ, you have to at least electronically submit the information. So that's basically an exchange of QSL cards.
However, Ralph,
So it moves you away from the people that can get awards without ever sending a card.
however, I don't have to send you a card in order for our contact to be confirmed. You can send me a card. I can be the deadbeat, and I can use that card for any purpose.
True.
So, and I think the other thing that came up in the last 24 hours is that, so if we're going to go down this road, just so that we're clear, we're talking about coming up with, and I think Johnny had this in his thing, LOTW, QRZ, EQSL, and I think we also need to figure out how we're going to do it with Sublog as well. So Sublog is becoming one of those interactive logging things that more and more people are using. So And I think, and again, I think, you know, all you want to do is get that basic card from the news station and you want to upload your log and to get it. I guess I've got no problems with that. But I think long term, I don't think it's the tool that the seasoned 3905 person can use it, because there's a lot of information that is needed for the awards program. Whether you're on a tri-point, whether you're on a state line, or whatever you are, that stuff is stuff that probably is not going to be included. And if it is included by members, they're going to have to figure out how they're going to get it into that small amount of space. Is there any limitation to remarks in QRZ? I don't know.
Well, you have to, you know, plus you have to have certificate numbers on it for other awards and what have you.
Right.
But that's a training issue. That's a training issue. And just a clarification on EQSL, when you get a thing saying that someone sent you an EQSL card, you have to go in and validate that the time and the signal reports you had on that card before they'll accept it. You have to be within like an hour of what they say they contacted you. You have to be within an hour.
Of EQSL?
Each EQSL card I can remember doing.
EQSL, basically, you got everything.
QRZ does, not
QRZ does, but
oh, maybe it's the QRZ card you have.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And Club Log the same way, and ARL the same way.
Yeah, but I think we're going down the wrong road here. Not the wrong road on where we need to go. I think this discussion is going down the wrong road. Absolutely, Dean. It's not going to show you're on a tri-point. It's not going to show your mobile, your portable here or there. Okay, that's not what's being proposed here. Okay, what's being proposed here is that we have some people who check into our nets. They're not going to be on a tri-point. They don't give a shit if we're on a tri-point. Take the shit out of the minutes when. But really, we need. This is not going to be used a lot, even. Okay, most of these aren't going to work, but it's an opportunity to get more cards from people who check in to us, the members who are here and who are regularly doing it. If I'm on a tri-point, I'm going to put it on my card, but oh, by the way, I'm sending cards anyway. Okay, the EQSL guy, he doesn't care I was on a tri-point. In fact, he's probably not even going to use it. So
okay, hold on 1 second, Craig. Okay, Keon, got your note. Hope you feel better. 7-3. Okay, continue, Greg.
Yeah, no, sorry, and I hope I didn't jump on anybody. I had my microphone muted earlier, and I just had to unmute it.
No, he sent a text message.
One other thing.
So, just Gary, is there any way that, you know, you've done some surveys and things like that we can basically query some of these news stations to find out what they're using? Do we know, or do we already know that?
No, we don't know what they're using.
And I would say, well,
We don't know what they're using.
whatever the news station is using, I would say, why?
Because if we only have 3% of our news stations that are using a logging program, then we're only talking about capturing 3% of the news stations here.
So it shouldn't be a big issue.
Okay,
Well,
I'm not,
it's like I said in the posting I made to the Reflector. I took Johnny's image of QRZ, right? I reduced it down to a 3.5 by 5.5 size, printed it, and that is, as far as I'm concerned, that's usable because it satisfies the requirements of confirming a contact. And there's really no discussion that we need to have in order to use that.
Perfect.
I mean, did you see it last night or the night? I guess I did it Friday night or Thursday night.
Perfect. That's
Right?
the QSL card.
Hey, a comment on point. If the award applicant is submitting the EQSL, QRZ, or LTW, whatever, if he needs to prove the point that he was in a state or mobile or portable, that would show up on the club archive. He needs to submit that as well. Now, it wouldn't help with a progressive award number, but a new contact is not going to have that. Once it gets in the swing of things, he'll come around and know that he needs to put that on.
I suggest to you, Kurt, that once a new person is enticed into continuing with our club, he's going to get on some program of doing QSLing using something resembling a QSL card. I contend that he's going to do that.
And if he
I
doesn't,
could be wrong, but I think once he gets into things, he'll figure out a way that he'll use Microsoft Paint to do an image, and he'll handwrite cards that way and print them out or whatever. He'll get creative in the way that he's going to confirm contacts.
Yeah, I agree. The more he gets in the club, the more he'll see the
Of course.
beauty of what we need on QSL cards.
Mhm.
But for the first new ones that are coming in, if you can get any kind of verification from them, and that can be any one of those programs, in addition to the Net Archive. That's just something that would have to be on an award applicant that they have to include if they want to prove that.
So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 14 we've got 14 people here. I'm going to take a quick survey and raise your hand. How many of you within 24 hours of working a news station emails them a confirmation via email of a contact with all the information?
what's that going to do with things?
Well, I think it's going to do a lot of things, because I think it's going to get that ball rolling so that we can get these people to acknowledge our contacts.
I upload, not within 24 hours, but I do upload the programs, and I also print out and send a hard copy. And oh, by the way, Dean, I did go back and check. I'm only at 71%. I used to be way higher. I'm only at 71% of receipts on QSLs. But again, I think we're going down the road of talking about solving all the world's problems. We're not solving the world's problems. All we are doing is saying people within the club, the people that check in once or twice, never come back again and never send the card. Okay. Sorry guys, we don't care about it. As long as when I worked him that once or twice, or those 1 or 2 peoples, I can use their card. It doesn't have all the details, then I can't use it. But if it has enough details that I can use it as a progressive award, perfect. That's all we're talking about. We're not trying to change the world.
Isn't this simpler than we're trying to make it? Isn't this really maybe just a bylaw change required to say that there are some other forms of confirmation that can be used besides a paper QSL, and it might say eQSL in there today? I mean, is that too simple, or is that not what we're just talking about here?
We have, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but we have nothing written as to our requirements for QSL. All we have is a statement is that we require a QSL card. That's it. It doesn't say anything about the content or anything else of what needs to be included. Okay.
Wrong.
And thus the card that Clay just put up is a commonly formatted QSL card from somebody that knows nothing about our club, probably. So
Yeah, I agree with that, Dean. I mean, a card can be scribbled on, handwritten note, which I get from newbies.
how about
sometimes.
VE3HMK? There's a good example. Everybody's got a card. Yeah.
You should try processing his awards.
But I guess what I'm saying, Craig, is I work to try to get my news station, get them card, and the way I do it is I try to email them within a few minutes after we make a contact, so it's fresh for him and he's got all the information that he can respond to me. That's what I do. Okay.
Oh, good for you. I mean,
right. But and that's why I asked how many people did that with the news stations. How many people at the news station send a letter, send an email, say, welcome to club, blah, blah, blah. We worked on such and such a time and whatever. And that's all I'm saying is I think those are the kinds of things, at least for me, that I've discovered in my non-scientific approach to trying to get QSL cards from new stations, because it is a hassle. It really
Yeah,
is.
no,
And
but how does that shut down, Dean? How does that shut down us accepting other digital modes of?
it doesn't. It doesn't. I'm saying
Good.
it absolutely doesn't. I'm just saying
Good.
is
So,
that,
so, so,
I looked at this thing that Johnny did, and that's why I reduced that example with the arrows and all that through him. I said, as far as I'm concerned, if I submitted that to my word manager, he should accept it.
Good.
Because it shows
Perfect.
a two-way. It shows a two-way confirmation, right?
Yeah.
And the concept of EQSL is more of a Dropbox kind of approach. The other station is posting to EQSL, and you happen to see the card there. You can punch on the little thing, the image, and you can print, or you can print, say, or whatever you want to do with that EQSL image. And we've allowed that to be used for awards as well.
Yeah.
So,
So it sounds like we're all agreeing that this is a good idea.
Comment.
Go ahead, Ralph.
Yeah. This goes back a few minutes, but there was a comment I think Dean made about on some of these electronic means, there's no room you wouldn't have the information about the tri point or a low point or a high point or this or that. It almost sounded like he was saying that 100% of the paper cards have that information. And I dare say that's not true. So I think it's kind of a red herring.
no, but we have tools in place that we've been using, that people have been using to get closer to the ideal situation.
But most of the newbies have no idea that it's even that we even want it on the card. In fact, I've been off the nuts for quite a few years, came back on, and I'll guarantee there were some national parks or tri-points or something that I didn't so indicate on cards I sent. So some of it is just a question of whether the information is out there saying that it should be on the card. And main thing I'm thinking is the first thing is just get the card and work from there. I'm done.
Yeah, sorry, and I keep going on mute. Sorry, Ben. Ben got his hand up, by the way. But if it's not on the card, then the card is not usable for an award. Period. I mean, nobody's arguing that. I will put myself on mute and
So it looks like we have consensus that we'd like to do this. The question is, what do we do next?
How are you gonna do it?
Yeah. Ben, did you want to talk?
Let's let Ben.
Let Ben talk.
I was going to suggest the same thing. Go ahead, Ben.
All right. Everyone hear me, first of all. I'm on a Bluetooth headset.
We can
Mostly.
hear you. Not as good as usual, but we can hear you.
Okay. Let's see, get that closer to my mouth, maybe. All right. Back in March of 2002, we rejected EQSLs by the board as a means of QSLing. In March of 2003, we repealed that and we agreed to accept EQSLs. I see no reason why a motion can't be introduced to accept LOTW confirmations and or QRZ.com confirmations as Johnny presented. And I will completely agree with Craig that existing QSLs often lack information, and we reject them routinely. I will also refute what Dwight said about checking, about requiring 3905 Century Club net to be on the card, because many cards now don't have that. AAMs typically look at the time and the frequency, and that's how they determine that it was on one of our nets, and it's generally pretty easy to see. So my suggestion would be someone draft a motion that corresponds to what Johnny has written up and throw it up to the board for approval. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Ben.
Well, if everybody's in agreement with what Ben just said, I'll work with Johnny and we'll get something put together for the next meeting and we'll present it to the board at that time.
Well, I also think, Gary, it needs to include email because somebody brought that up. I just think that, we need to be real flexible here and not limit us, as we go forward so that we're not back at the board every couple of years because there's some new technology being used.
Right.
I agree with that.
Go ahead, you have your hand up.
I think one of the things that I brought up, and I'll bring it up one last time, and then I'll shut up about it, is I think that if we accept pieces of paper that are 8.5 by 11, I think that poses problems to submitting those contacts on progressive award numbers when you're trying to intersperse them with the other 400 cards that are part of that award. And if it gets to catch on where perhaps maybe if you apply for your 2K and 150 of them are on 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper, that's going to be kind of a stress on the award people. But I think that the direction that we're headed into doing electronic transfer of data between members and the award manager. So, with that in place and more and more people are doing that, it doesn't pose as much of a problem.
Okay. Dean, are you done?
Question.
Oh, yes, I'm done.
Okay, hang on
done.
1 second, Ralph. Eric, you had your hand up first.
Maybe a suggestion to Gary is, do we really need to list the specific tools or electronic methods like EQSL or LTW? Maybe it's possible just to have a more generic policy that we accept electronic cards, right? Write it in a way so we don't have to have another discussion about club log in the future or another tool. So I just suggest that to make it more generic that if we agree, just so we don't have to come back again and talk about the next tool or the next
software app.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm going to open my mouth again. Like I said in my posting, I took that QRZ thing and I printed it. And as far as I'm concerned, all the information is there that it could be submitted for a Work All States award or a progressive award or some award that doesn't require any specifics to having numbers on it or anything else.
Right. Okay. You could literally change one word in the 2003 motion from EQSL to electronic QSL. That's the policy. So I don't think it takes a long.
Okay. I think Ralph was next, and then Dwight, you're on deck.
Yeah, Dean, you were saying something about you saw a problem with an 8.5 by 11 QSL, and yet you shrunk a QRZ page down to 3.5 by 5.5. I would kind of think that you could do if that's the only issue, that you could do the same with an 8.5 by 11.
Yeah. There are. Again, the difference between QRZ and email is that email you need to make sure you include all the header stuff and everything else, and it's not just a block of text. But yeah, it's doable.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is that as Eric stated, we just said electronic thing, and we start getting these things by the award managers, and they start balking at incomplete data. I think that we need to bring it back to the board and figure out, what went awry, and how do we solve it?
Okay.
I'll go on deck after Dwight.
Okay. Ralph, were you done?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to bring up real quick, and since I haven't said much on this, I think the burden of proof is on the person who files the award. I think the awards managers need to say, hey, I don't like this. Give me some more data. Explain, even if it's a newbie, we can educate them that way. That's the burden of proof is on he who files, personally. That is all I have. Dwight and I'm sorry, hang on, stand by, Dwight. There was somebody who said, I'll go after Dwight. Was that Kirk?
Yes.
Okay. Dwight, go ahead.
Mine is just a bit of a correction. I never mentioned that 3905 Century Club had to be on the QSL card. I mentioned that it might be an increased workload for the area ward managers to validate that the contact indeed occurred on a 3905 Century Club net. Just want that to be corrected.
Okay.
I'm done.
Kirk?
Yeah, I said it once, but I want to strongly reiterate that yes, the award applicant has to prove that the QSL is providing the information he wants to convey to the awards manager. And if a copy of a archive net shows what he needs to show at state, mobile, portable, tri-point, YL, whatever, he needs to conclude that in the order that it appears on his application. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, I think we're all in an agreement that Gary can take this, work with Johnny, get a motion to us next month or some follow-on date. I don't want to put any pressure on for next month, but do we have any more discussion with that?
I would like to ask Kurt one question that came up.
Okay, go ahead.
So
Dean?
Based on what you said, if I have a contact with somebody and I'm working on their certificate hunter and his numbers aren't on the card, if I produce a listing of the certificate holders from the club website, does that suffice getting the number on the card?
For that particular award, I don't think that's in the spirit of that award. But for a newbie who's checked in from, North Dakota mobile and doesn't know to put that on EQSL, it does show up on the Net Archive.
Okay.
Once they're to the point of being in the certificate hunter game, they're past the newbie stage.
Okay, that's fine. Cool.
I see Ben's hands up there.
Ben, did you have additional?
Yes, I have something additional. I almost agree with Kirk, but I think Kirk goes way too far as an AAM to make people happy and accept things like listings of archive nets and things like that. That is above and beyond the call of duty, and I commend him for that. But that is not the typical procedure for AAMs. The information should be on the card or on the proof of contact. I won't call it a card in the current context. So if that information is not there, the AAM is completely within his rights to reject that card, put the burden back on the applicant, and request that the applicant get that information in proper form for him. That's all I have to say.
I agree with that.
Okay, thank you, Ben. Okay, is there any further comments? Okay, hear none. Gary, take two Quaaludes and call me in the morning, Dwight. Hang on a second. Gary, burden of proof is on you. Ball's in your court. Drum up a motion. We'll see it when we see it.
All right.
Is that good with you?
Yeah, works.
Okay. Hey, any open discussion? Okay, I got a motion to adjourn from. Wait a second, Dwight. Did you say motion to adjourn?
Yeah.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, Ralph.
I'll second.
I'll call Dean a second and a couple thirds. All those in favor say aye. Okay. This meeting is adjourned, and I appreciate everybody's patience